Good afternoon. It's Sunday. Been waiting to do this video for a little while. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to do some work and give you guys something great. I've been talking about productive versus busy, kind of leading y'all to understand that we're going to have a good conversation about what is busy versus what is productive and how that can help you become successful in all parts of your life, not just business, but your personal life and your friendships, relationships, etc. Um, there's a common train of thought that if you're busy, you're productive, and that is absolutely incorrect. So I'm going to start right there. Um, Being productive means that you're accomplishing major tasks and moving a goal forward to completion, whereas more of busy is just the amount of time spent on task or tasks, plural. So with that being said, we can eliminate the thought that productive and busy are the exact same things because productive is actually meant on prioritizing those tasks and completion of those tasks versus busy is just the amount of or time spent on the tasks. So, kind of some ways to kind of get over this is number one, understanding where that sentiment comes from. Busy is such a broad terminology. It's pretty broad. You can walk into 7-Eleven, you can walk into an office building, you can walk into a bank, and people will say naturally, in response to typical questions like, hey, how's the day been? They'll say busy, or, how have you been? I've been busy. You hear these things forwards, backwards, sideways from everybody. Again, it's a relative terminology because it's very wide. It's very, um, how do I put it? It's general. It's very broad. Whereas, you know, productive is very direct. It's very simple to understand, but we don't use that most often. And it doesn't mean that somebody, when they say they're busy, doesn't mean they're being productive. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just using this to help other people understand, if you don't already, what is the difference between the two and how to help you get better at being more productive and less busy. Because when you do that, you're going to be happier across the board, not just in business, but in your personal life. You will be happier with your relationships, and that will carry it forward into accomplishing more goals and being more successful. So, to the next point, a lot of this will stem from our natural human nature to procrastinate. Things we don't understand or not comfortable with, or we haven't performed millions of times, we generally don't feel comfortable in doing consistently or approaching as a priority, which actually hurts us and makes us, again, more busy and less productive. So, first, we got to battle procrastination, which is battling our own human nature. And for each one of us, that's different. We might battle our procrastination by wasting time and talking to people about things that don't matter. Or we might play video games because that's our pathway, our relaxation method, or our run to. Some of us might read books or listen to music. Others of us might just sit there and do nothing at all. But this is something that is very deep, not very necessarily wide and broad. So when you actually have to approach this, you have to approach it from a very personal standpoint. Um, how do you deal with procrastination and then battle that first? Because you'll never get to the next step if you can't battle your own procrastination and just basically, as they have said, as an old saying, just eat the frog. You know, if somebody told you to eat a frog, where the saying comes from, and you've never eaten frog before, well, how do you do it? Obviously, you might not feel comfortable with a slimy creature and eating it and thinking it tastes good. But really, if you were forced to and you had no other food, how would you do it? You just eat the frog. So with procrastination, you have to understand what you're dealing with and then just deal with it. It takes an action. It's the same thing as dealing with fear. How do you overcome your fears? Well, you face it head on. So the same thing will apply here. Now, next, from dealing with procrastination, when you can move on, it then becomes at looking at a goal. What is your big dream? And as many details as you could put together for that vision that you have to accomplish that goal, you need to get down on paper. You need to get it in front of your face. And you need to remind yourself daily, minute, hourly, however it'll work best for you to, keep that goal in mind and keep that vision so strong that you will want to, stick to to not procrastinating, excuse me, and then moving forward towards your goal, and then prioritizing those tasks that will get you to the goal. Some are going to be large, as I will call macro, and some will be minor, which we'll call micro. A micro task, as an example, is, phone calls, paperwork, emails, a Facebook post. Those are micro tasks. Now, they can have big impacts. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, for something that takes a few minutes, a couple seconds, to get caught up on it and spend too much time on it, you're being busy and you're not being productive. You need to focus on the macro tasks, the large tasks, the ones that take you an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, days to complete, because they're going to drive you forward closer to that vision and that goal. And once you complete it, you're going to feel better. So, getting a wraparound understanding. We understand now the difference between productive and busy. We understand that it's going to take us fighting our procrastination, which, again, that's individual. That's relative to ourselves and what we're most comfortable with. And then secondly, really thirdly in the course of this, is then understanding the vision and the goal we have, particularly for our individual circumstances and where we want to go with our lives, and then how to prioritize that. You'll want to prioritize starting with the most heavy, hard-hitting tasks first. All the easy stuff, the micro, leave that until later. Believe me, when you get through a tough task, the rest of the day, the week gets bigger, better, easier to deal with. Not saying you won't deal with other problems, not saying other things won't get in the way and obstacles will come in. I'm saying you will feel better because you will look back and look at what you've accomplished and feel phenomenal. So prioritize daily, weekly, monthly on large tasks first. Complete them first. Don't move on. And then to help you with that, understand that multitasking, as popular as that has become, is not really effective. It's not efficient, and it doesn't help you be productive. It helps you be busy. So don't multitask. Focus on that task. Don't get off of it until you complete it, and then move to the next, and so on and so forth until you carry through with the rest of the day. Now, do not fix yourself on this idea that if you complete the task, that the next one you can leave or procrastinate until later. Remember, fight your procrastination, finish the work, and continue until you're done. Now, again, if you have to move micro tasks on to the next day or 2 days from now, that would work. That would be fine, because I don't think anybody that has been successful has had complaints on micro tasks because they accomplish these big tasks. So hopefully all of this will help you, help somebody else out there understand the difference between productivity versus being busy, and then how to approach it. Remember, it's a very simple process, but it's still very difficult. As much as I'm saying this, I do understand per individual, it will be more difficult per your circumstances, where you came from. It will be harder to fight. But remember, everybody has a fight in them. If you're backed into a corner and you have nowhere else to go, you have two responses that nature provides you. It's fight or flight. And you need to learn when to use that. Use fight when you need to accomplish your goals, move your life forward, keep your family and friends safe, keep your life safe, and then, again, live the life that you want to live. And this will help you no matter what your career field is, no matter what your personal goals or beliefs are. This will help every single person that decides to make this, a focus and make this a precedence in their life to get fixed, because this helps so many others accomplish so many great things, from your, Steve Jobs to your Elon Musk, to your Warren Buffetts, to your Bill Gates, to people that are in much smaller positions at CEOs at companies, to your In-N-Out CEOs, to your privately held companies, just to your spiritual writers, to anybody. It will help. So again, hopefully this will help. Please leave your comments below. Any questions you have, I'm happy to answer. And let's make it a good day. Let's make it a good week, good life. And anything I can do to help, I'm happy to do so. Have a good one.